So I'm in the infamous Markus Pix studio, and I'm like a kid in a candy store. He has every camera ever made. There's like 15 cinema cameras over there, 115 lenses. I counted them. There's goggles and a thing. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm excited. I'm gonna try a couple things. We're on my Sony a7S III, but I have his Zeiss 35mm 1.4. I've always been thinking of getting that one. Is there 3D separation? There's not.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
I am surrounded by LED lights, brighter than the sun. Each one is brighter. I see why Markus Pix squints in his video sometimes. He's like, it's because of the power. Like, I couldn't even afford the hydro bill of this. That's electricity for you Americans, you morons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and something back up there. And all the lights on the ceiling for some reason. I should have turned those off. Should I? Wow, that got dramatic. So, I have a couple of tests I would like to do. There's a Canon C100 Mark II over there. I am going to switch to the 85mm Batis for some reason right now. All right, first let's switch to the 85mm. I'm gonna try to keep the same framing somewhat. Let's just see the difference between 35 and 85 in case you were worried about something. Ta-da! I feel like for some reason I have to move Scoop, but I'm afraid to move his stool. It looks like it's meant to be only here ever. So I'll just sit half of my ass on a stool. Zeiss Batis, 85mm. Those are the only lenses I reached for up there. I saw a bunch of Sony stuff, Sigma. I threw them out for him in his garbage disposal down the sink. Sigma has no 3D pop or a place in my life. I think, you know what I'm leaning towards? Getting the 85mm Tony 1.2 for Canon EF. I don't know why though, it would only be for the EOS R. That would be so dumb, but I think the lens is what you want to have. That's what you focus on. You buy your dream lens and then you think about cameras later on, if you even want to. What is that? Is this in the shot? It's supposed to beautify you. It surrounds you with light. But I think it's meant to, you're not supposed to see it. There. Now you can't see it. It's a bit bright. I'm ageless. Can you see my acne? I've never had this good lighting in such detail. I've always wondered what it would be like if I went to other YouTuber studios, because my film show is like so trash, it's embarrassing. And if I actually went to like Gerald Undone's house and just went in there, it's like, that would be fun. I'm not gonna do it. Let's switch to the Canon C100 finally. Without this. Sony Color Science. Okay, some things changed. Markus Pix came in and he was like, what are you doing? Why aren't all the lights on? There's like this hair light, there's all this special stuff that highlights this, and a slight unfair advantage to Canon, but Sony, you suck, and it's your fault that the lights weren't on back there. I turned something on back there, but it was like only highlighting the blue stuff, which is clipping. I don't mind that. So we're just in wide dynamic range. Canon C100 Mark II, the 50mm 1.2, because I figured it'd be too tight on the 85, although I am about to switch to it anyway. Side by side with Sony. That's a loser. He doesn't even have Canon Color Science. Why would you listen to his advice? I've seen him color in those paint by number things with only pencils. It's only gray. Sony, you suck. Next to me is an uncouth moron who's on an old obsolete system. He's on the Canon C100 Mark II, but it was bettered by the C200, which you're witnessing now. We're in 4K, 8-bit, that's all you need. Markus Pix doesn't even like this camera. He uses it to prop open his door. I've seen him do it. It's fine. It's better. It's a better image. And I'm about to switch to RAW. He hasn't even tried it. He refuses to see the beauty of this system. Let's switch. Now what I'm allowing you to witness is RAW. It's actually 12 bits, and it's illegal in 49 of the 50 states. And I'm just happy to have it. Next to me is an 8-bit. I mean, come on. Come on. Dynamic range is everything, you know it is. RAW. How big are these file sizes? Stop the recording, Marcus, run! I am now allowing you to witness a 1.2 toniature. It was at 2.8. We were messing with knobs, the wrong knobs. Don't touch the wrong knob, kid. We thought it was the ND. Okay, never worry about that. Does it have me?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Every time I turn my head before, sometimes
Because we weren't at the right f-stop.
if I turn and point,
You're good?
it's something, there's a movement Canon doesn't like.
It looks good.
Wow, look at her.
It just doesn't like 2.8.
Look at that thing.
Yeah. Wow.
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 12 bits.
Action hero.
Amazing. Stop the recording immediately. Oh, hi there. Name's Jack Desert Sponge. Nice to meet you. Did you feel like going for a walk in the desert? Oh, can't go there. I can't even see the reflector personally. Marcus tells me there's one there, but I just have to trust him. It's not blinding light. We're on the Sony a7S III. G Master, 70 to 200 at, I forget, 70-ish mountains. It's nice to come outside sometimes. I am thirsty. Is that a rattlesnake? It's just a branch. I'm gonna leave. Thanks for coming. I don't think gear is all that important. It's all about lighting. If you're in the desert and you think, oh, it's a harsh sunlight, like, oh, it's kind of hurting me, you hire a Sherpa to carry an umbrella for you, and it's actually quite pleasing to the eye, I think.
Hello, how are you doing?
Thank you, Sherpa.
No problem.
Do you have water?
I don't need water.
Okay. Oh. Wow. Look at that. It actually autofocused in the middle. 85 mil would be equivalent to a like 135 or something, 1.2 Tonys. 16-year-old camera. It has class-leading shoulder detect autofocus. That doesn't come on a lot of newer cameras, and that is an unfortunate misguidance. That's not the word. Okay, now we're talking some 3D pop over here, backlit, if not side-lit. I hate when monitors are reversed. And I'm like, it's going. Oh, wow. Canon dual pixel autofocus invented today. Wow, that's getting bright. I could be exposed. You don't know that I'm not. Do I have to change settings for that? I doubt it. Canon just knows. All right, we're done fooling around. I got a question the other day. It said something like, if you had Leica money and it didn't matter, you could throw it out, what would you buy? If I was just like multi-billionaire, not even multi-millionaire, I would still be stingy. If it was billionaire though, When I made that slow motion video, I was talking about like what would my dream slow motion cam, probably the Freefly Ember. So I would be buying that with a bunch of manual vintage E-mount lenses somehow. We're on the 35mm L lens, by the way, 1.4 Mark II, unfortunately not the Mark I with superior 3D pop. So I would do that. I would also buy the Blackmagic 12K because it also does slow motion. I already don't have a house to store these things, and I'm already annoyed by the clutter I have already accumulated. But the Blackmagic 12K, doing 12K RAW for talking head videos, and then some slow motion 4K 240p. I would like a Canon C100. No, I wouldn't. I would return that and get a C500 Mark II because it's full frame and basically the same. Better though, in every way. I would also get all these L lenses that I've been testing today, but the Mark Is of everything. 85mm 1.2, 50 1.2, 35 1.4. I already have the 24 1.4. They do have a 14mm 2.8. I would try it. I have $2 billion. Why wouldn't I? You know where I wouldn't look? The Sony G Master store. Like all those modern lenses with corner sharpness. You want to see the best corner sharpness? Canon C100. Wait for the shoulder. Just wait for it. Continue waiting, please. We did it. Nothing modern really excites me unless we're talking about wildlife, which I would also buy a wildlife setup. I'd probably get the Z8. Nikon Z8 with 400mm 5.6 prime. I could have some fun with that. We're talking 8K RAW, 60p. I would buy a new computer so I could edit the files. A couple hard drives, 3 hard drives, 1 terabyte each. I already have the best Sony wildlife setup, so nothing in Sony excites me for the face or birds, so I wouldn't even look at them. Canon doesn't really have wildlife yet. They're not really working on wildlife lenses, and I don't want a huge heavy wildlife prime like DSLR. For wildlife, it's like, okay, give me the modern sharpness. I don't care. I'm not looking at like what's the best skin tones of a catbird. Not on my radar. It's for the face. I want the vintage 3D pop look. I don't think there's any other gear that I'd be like, man, wish I had that. Like saying what I've said and what I've bought already, that's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're good. I might be curious about like old vintage lenses. That's about it. What do you need? We got the Freefly for slow-mo. I do need a vlogging cam, but what would that be? The Action 4? Okay. Someone already sent it to me maybe. It's at my doorstep right now. I can't use it. It's so annoying. Or, plot twist, multi-billionaire, I buy the Canon 6D Mark II with all the original L lenses, and we're done. And then, like, that's my show. It's like, oh, 1080p only. I would need a slow-mo cam, though, so I do get the Freefly Ember as well as my B cam. But that's in the Huawei P70 Pro when it comes, if it has better slow-mo, which it won't. I think what we've learned here today is that gear is not important, lighting is. And lighting is all that matters, so you just need your 6D Mark II and a curvy light, and you can be a YouTube sensation. So what would you buy? Let me know down below, you multi-billionaire freak. What would you get? Or would you be humble? That's the real test, isn't it? I think it is. Thank you for watching a cinematic episode. Canon C. Could have sprung for a better light stand, Marcus. I'll go. Subscribe for more insanity. Your work here is done, sir. He said it wraps around your face and creates a better face.